everyone, how's everyone doing today? My name is Gina and I'm doing okay. Excuse my voice, I do have a cold. But, and I was going to wait until next week to open this. However, I am so excited. Let me scoot y'all out just a tad bit. I'm so excited because I decided I was going to do the Paletteful Packs, and I'm doing the premium, I do believe. I'm doing the premium subscription, and I also just subscribed yesterday to another Upcrate, I believe is the name of it, so I can't wait for that one to come too. So I'll have 4 boxes actually. I'll have Scroller Box, I'll have this, I'll have the Upcrate, and I'll have the Tonic Studios. So I should have enough things to play with. So I'm excited. So I was excited to get this, so I didn't want to wait to open it. Now I'll probably wait to do my project out of it, but I just want to see what's in it because I'm just too excited. Oh, I see right off the bat we've got some oil. Ooh, it's Payne's Gray. Oil paint. Wow. That scares me just a tad bit. Oh my gosh, we have a bunch of oil paint. Titanium White, Payne's Gray, and Ivory Black. This is going to, of course, clean it. Clean your brushes. Walnut oil. Even though I've never heard of using walnut oil, but okay. Let's see. What else do we have going on? And we've got a small canvas, board canvas. Oh, we have a palette knife. Ooh. Let's see. I have oil paints, and I actually have been thinking about doing an oil painting. Okay, that's nice. I'm trying not to get these things all over the place. Okay, and then we have another bigger canvas board, an 8x10. This one's probably a 5x7, I think, or 4x6, maybe. And then we have the canvas itself, stretch canvas. This is another 8x10. Whoops, sorry. And then we have a brush. We have a white sable in number 4, small brush. And I think that's going to do us. Okay. Let's make sure we have everything. Okay, because I know I have solvent that I use for my oils that I have, my oil paints. But this one is saying that most oil paint need you to use solvents to clean your brushes. The Renaissance Masters didn't have to use solvents, and neither do you. Walnut oil effectively removes color from artist brushes and is a natural vegetable oil that does not evaporate or remove essential oils from the artist brushes. The addition of walnut oil to your oil paint will slow drying, enhance flow, and increase sheen. That's what I thought that it was for. Okay, so we have a palette knife, and then we have several canvases. So that is what is in our box this month. And we only have the 3 colors: Payne's Gray, Ivory Black, and Titanium White. Okay. In the tradition of Masters M. Graham Artist Oils, that's the name of the oil company, or the oil paint, M. Graham Artists, is made from pure walnut oil for its brilliance, clarity, texture, and resistance to fading and yellowing. Working in small batches, M. Graham crafts oil colors true to the roots of Renaissance painting, delicately free-flowing, solvent-free, and with no fillers or additives. They are intermixable and compatible with other oils. Well, that's nice to know. Remember, oil paints dry very slowly. Yes, it does. It is one of the reasons why oil paint blends so easily compared to the other fast drying mediums. Sorry. Okay. So, looks like I'm doing an oil painting with this stuff. Because it looks like that's all that's in there. I think I have an idea of what I'm going to do. But I want to wait because, again, I'm sick. I really don't. I have a headache. But I wanted to see what was in here so badly that I wanted to get it on camera. So, but I think I know what I want to do, especially with this limited color that I have going on here. So, alright. I will be back when I will start working. Okay, so I'm back. I have drawn what I think will look okay on the little canvas here. Now, again, I'm only working with 3 colors. I'm working with Payne's Gray, white, titanium white, and ivory black. So, I kept that in mind for what I want to use this on. Now, I've never used walnut oil to like clean brushes or anything like that. So this should be very interesting. Well, hello, Jack. I'm glad I had not put my paint on there. Oh, Jackie's still. Okay, get down, bub. All right. Now, and another thing that I want to mention is that even though, hi, Jack. Oh my gosh, Jack. I have oil painted before many times. I have never done it this way. I've only done, like, I don't want to say it's wet on wet, but if you're talking about watercolor, it's like a wet on wet technique, right? Or others like to call it the Bob Ross technique, because that is how I learned, by watching Bob Ross and doing his paintings. So I've never done it where it's like acrylic, which is what I'm about to do. So, this is an adventure that we're about to go on together, and I am so excited. But let me pause because Jackie is wanting a lot of loving, and I'm afraid he's going to jump up here when I get my paints. So, hold on. Okay, I can't guarantee you that he's skedaddled, but alright, that's my Payne's Gray up at the top. Oh, well, of course I did that out of camera. And then I'm going to do my titanium white, and I'm going to do my ivory black. And this is also, I've never used like a tiny brush like this either, so alright, the first thing I think I want to do is, and usually when I oil paint, I have it up on a little easel. And I do have a little easel I can use, a desktop easel. However, then you wouldn't be able to see it. So we're just going to stick with this. Alright, I think what I want to do is I want to make like a very light background. So, and if I cough, I apologize. Actually, why did I do that? I have no idea. I need to mix with my palette knife. Alright, so I'm going to take a little bit of this white with just a smidgen of the Payne's Gray. I mean, the smallest amount. And I'm just going to mix that together to get like a pretty bluish color. Jack, stop! Sorry, guys. He is the only cat that comes and bothers while I'm working in here. All the others either lay down in here or just chill out. He, on the other hand, likes to get into everything. Alright, and I think what I want to do is add a little bit of this walnut oil to this to kind of make it a little looser. Alright, so let's just try it. Alright, I'm going to bring it in just a tad, just so you can see where I have my drawing at, or my sketch. If I go over, the sketch parts of it, I will think I will be okay with that. I kind of did this already. Oops, I just went over that. In watercolor, just because I wanted to see if, one, it would, like the Payne's gray and the white, what that would give me, the colors. It's not quite the same because watercolor is different than oil, of course. But at least gave me some idea of how I wanted to approach this. And I just stuck my finger in that. This is why I need an easel. But again, if I used an easel, then y'all would not be able to see exactly what I was doing. And I do want y'all to see. I will probably start fast forwarding, and if something interesting happens, I will stop the video. Okay, so I got it pretty much covered. Now what I want to do is I do want to take some of this Payne's gray, and I want to go over in the corners here a little bit just to sort of darken this up a little bit on the corners. In the corners there. I did go over some of my smaller leaves down on the bottom, but I think I'll be okay with that. So I'm kind of digging that. I'm kind of liking the darkness around, kind of framing it a little bit. Okay, so now what I want to do is wipe my hands off. I really should be using an easel, because you really do need to have it up so you can see what you're doing, but it is what it is. Alright, so I think with these guys over here, these little, I don't know what you would call them, I'm just going to make this just a tad darker, but not too dark, because I need the black to give some contrast. But let's just see if this will work on here, if it's maybe just a tad darker right up here. This is so hard to do with this brush, but I'm trying to, I need just a little bit more of that. Ugh, That might be too dark now. Kind of like it. So I just took that color and just used my brush and kind of stippled it on to kind of keep it the shape of the flower that it was supposed to be. And I've done that on both sides of these two flowers that they are going to be. I just blocked in the color. And now I just darkened that color up just a little bit more by putting just a little bit more Payne's Gray in it. And now I'm making the rose hips here. I'm just making the little buds, I guess is what they are. They're more like seeds, are they not? I don't know what they are, but anyway. So I just took that and put them where they needed to go. And now what I did is I just used the straight black and I rolled it onto my palette knife, and I'm just creating the stems now for the rose hips. And I kind of lost track of where I was, and so I needed to create another rose hip there. But again, just using the rolling technique to get the stems and the branches onto the painting there. I thought this turned out pretty cool. It was kind of a little bit difficult, but it worked out pretty cool. And now what I'm doing is I'm just adding the top part of the rose hip with the black there. Okay, and then I wanted to start working on the leaves, and I actually did use the walnut oil to clean the brush, and it worked perfect. So I'm like, woo, that'll save me a lot of money than buying solvents, I guess. So now I wanted a gray color, so I added the white and the black, and then just a little bit of that bluish gray that we did for the background added in there in order to create the leaves. Because I wanted it, different than the flowers that we had going on. And so that is what I'm doing now, is I'm just adding the leaves onto the canvas. And now I'm just taking the color of the leaves there, and I'm using my palette knife to create the veins. And but then I've decided it's too light, so I add just a little bit of the black in it just to darken it up, and I like that a lot better. It's kind of difficult to use the knife on such a small area, but I like the technique of that. And now what I want to try to do is do some detail into the flowers. So again, using my palette knife, I'm trying to use just black and use the palette knife to put the little details in where it looks like, they're, they have an inside there. Sorry, I'm off camera there. And I think it turned out pretty cool. I think that the technique, looked pretty cool. I just added the paint, and then I just scraped along to kind of bring the paint out a little bit so that it would look like, just little stems or something coming out of it. So I like that look. And now what I want to do is, again, just using my palette knife, just trying to make the smaller vine, or not vines, but veins in the leaves there. And now I'm just mixing up the color for the flowers, and I'm trying to get it in between the rose hip color, the leaves, and the other little flowers I have going on there. And I really like this color. I thought it turned out pretty. And again, just how I did with the other flowers, I'm just blocking in where these flowers should go on the page. Can't do much detail because the paint's wet, and as you can see, when I went over that stem, some of that black blended in, and you know, it was fine. I was fine with it. So this is just plain black ivory that I'm using right now to put in the centers of the flowers, and to make the petals, to try to give it a little bit of more definition. So I went ahead and just used the black to try to make the petals stand out a little bit better. And now I'm taking my palette knife, and again with that black, and just creating the stems for those flowers. And then I will take it and kind of pat on some of the black to just try to give it some texture, and to try to, you know, I don't know, make it look more like flowers, and to use my palette knife to sketch in the petals. And now I'm just adding leaves, using that same leaf color to the bottom. I'm so sorry I was out of frame, y'all. I'm so sorry. And now I just want to add a little bit of other things in the bottom of the painting there to kind of give it more of a, like there's more foliage behind everything. So that's what I'm doing right there. I'll use my palette knife and a little bit of just my paintbrush to do that. Okay, so there it is. If I had been feeling better, I probably would have let it dry for a couple of days, and then maybe added some of white in it, just to give it a little bit of contrast and stuff like that. But I like it. I think it looks groovy. I mean, you know, is it the best thing ever? No, not really, but I like it. I think it's kind of cool, especially for the first time using this technique with oils. Now this, here, let me scooch y'all back out. And this is the watercolor that I did when I, again, trying to figure out the colors that I wanted to use. And so there's the difference in those two. So, what, Jack? Hi, Jackie. Again, Jack wants to be up here. So, yeah. Well, I hope that y'all enjoyed the video. And if you're interested in the Paletteful Pack, I'll put a link down below. I'm not sponsored, by the way. I always forget to say that, but I'm not being sponsored. I just like to get these boxes and try new things. And I was really surprised to see oil paint on my very first box. And I was like, wow. I would have been really excited if there had been more colors, because then I totally would have done what I'm used to doing. But because there was only 3 colors, I had to kind of think outside the box, which of course is the challenge of getting the box right. So, alright y'all, well thanks so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, share it, and subscribe if you've not already subscribed. And if you have, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. But don't forget to hit the notification bell to be notified for every time that I post a video. Alright y'all be good to one another, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.